Well, I wasn't lying earlier. It is humid, hot, as spheres around here. For those who don't know, I'm in Nova Scotia, and I assumed there'd be more of a nice ocean breeze, but not tonight. So, even though last week I did try to start a new tradition of Sunday morning breakfast, maybe brunch, today that got all blown up out of water. Now, I was away for a little bit this weekend, so I didn't get back till mid-morning today. So it was gonna be brunch. And then it was just too freaking hot. I didn't want to have my computer on. I felt bad for my computer, because I need my computer to accidentally ignore the chat, which I often do. I'm still learning. I'm trying to aim my computer monitor so it's kind of in the same direction as my TV. I broadcast these games from my PlayStation 5 because my computer can't handle streaming. It's not that old, it's like 5 years old, but it's enough. It's not a streaming machine, it's just a Mac desktop. So, but anyway, thankfully, CitizenSleeper is available on PS5. I think it's on sale there right now too. And I'm not even sponsored by them, but it's a great game. So anyway, here we are, because I still think about this game when I don't play it, and that's a good indication that I'm really enjoying it. And look at that. I guess I'm level 50, I don't know what that 53 means. I assume level 53, so I don't know how that's measured exactly. So, the sun's gone. It's down, it's whatever. It's not in my part of the sky. But it's still hot and humid as spheres. So, but I can't sleep in this weather, so I'm not going to try. I'm going to be up anyway, and this is kind of how I kill time. I thought, well, why not have all of you along with me? Now, we've got 2 5s and a 6, a 4 and a 3. I do have a perk that I can re-roll that, but it's 2 5s and a 6, so I don't want to do that. But I'm not recalling what I was prioritizing. So, first, let's take a look what's on a timer. That's construction yards, that's okay. Having a job, so yeah, that's okay. Side rear horizon, that I should work on. Oh yeah, I screwed over a lamb a little bit. Oh, I did. Okay. Settlers are currently going to start moving the side road to the hub soon. Alright. So I can't do anything with that. Okay, so we don't have to worry about that. Why is the shipyard on the thing? So having it said it'll be a few cycles until the winners of the draw. Okay. So that's... Oh, that's just one cycle. Okay. Huh. Wet rotunda. Oh, that's until they come back. Is anything happening in the bar that I'm now? Okay, mushrooms. Take a bar shift. Yeah, I'll take a bar shift. What, I get a +1? So we'll throw a 5 in there. There we go, look at that. Nice. Good for me. Okay, so I've got 345 credits, so that's good. And I have 2, whatever those called, my shots, stabilizers, I think. And a bunch of other crap. Okay. So we did a shift there, so that's good. So dock B2, port exchange. There's no timers up here. Now let's go take to the greenway. What's stuff here? Nothing on a timer, and I think that leads to the DLC, which I'm not going to touch. I think there's 2 DLC. I have them. I'm just not going to touch them until we go through the base story. Alright. So crack Conway. Fang is located at Conway facility buried deep in the wastes. He needs your help to crack it and expose Harden. Slot the first Ripper worm. Meet Fang in the Greenway. Okay. But there's no timer on that, so... Okay, so that's Fang, so that's fine. Ashton, there's no timer on that, and sorry, Nikita. But we're in the Greenway now, so we're getting closer. Flotilla Aid, we just met Ashton Peak. Bring mushrooms. Okay, well, we gotta bring mushrooms to the other dude first. Or, wait, I did that for Emphas. He wants different kind of mushrooms now. Okay. Because, sure, why not? And, yeah, I'll clear the aviary. Was that the thing I was doing? That sounds familiar. Join the commune, volunteer at the commune. Win a side rail ticket. Well, that's just happens. So, well, I don't have control until it happens. And Rabia. That's just gonna remind me of Rabia, the metal guitarist that I discovered through watching. Oh, what's his name? Leo. Frogleaf Studios guy. Leo. I was gonna say Castagnoli, but that is a wrestler for AEW. Claudio. So that's his name. Oh, Moricchioli. Moricchioli? I apologize. I'm not gonna try and say his name because I'm gonna butcher it up. I don't think I've ever heard it properly pronounced. So, but anyway. So now that's why I think of Rabia. So yes, anyway, so we're going through this. So let's. Oh, and I'm an Extra Life streamer, and I fundraise specifically for Sick Kids Toronto because when I was a kid, I got leukemia twice, which I don't remember what because I was 2 and 4. So, but Sick Kids Toronto and my mother, of course, made sure I can still be around today, many decades later. Never stopped playing video games, and now I'm doing it for a good cause. This is my 6th year. So join the Haifa commune and Flotilla Aid, yeah. Let's just work on the commune stuff. Mushroom grows. Collect spores. Forage for fungus. I got +1s on all that. Aviary. Yeah, let's finish up the aviary. So, if we, what's a 4 get me? 20% negative. Roll the dice. Neutral. I will take it. So now we will definitely finish it off with a 5, which will turn into a 6. Boom. Aviary cleared. Germinate spores. The old growth of the aviary has created a rich medium into which you can place the spores from the groves. They'll grow well here. Input 1 spores. Well, there we go. I don't recall how I got more spores. Is it over here? Collect spores. There we go. Well, we'll use my other 5. Two spores. Excellent. Have 6, we'll try. Germinate. Germinate. Okay, and that will take 4 things, so that's fine. Fungus that grow in the deep grows of Greenway are typically avoided, but with those sharp eyes might be useful abilities. Grail caps. And minus condition. Okay. What the hell? 1? Just 1? Wow. It's kind of cheap. I know I'm out of dice, but I'm just looking at here. Work the grow beds, work the canteen. Okay. Yeah, we'll work on the commune next. What was wild margin? Search for signals, look for tracks. Was this Ashton? Yeah. So we're not doing that yet, but that's where that is. And then I believe Fang is in the wastes. So we're not going to do that. Cross to the rim. Caster's table, what do you got? Still closed? His office, yeah, we're not going with that. Okay. We'll feed the stray, of course. Stable stuff. Alright, and this up. Oh yeah. See, I'm so out of it. I haven't been sleeping well at all. Oh yeah, we're gonna restart that. Look at that, 3 1s. Screw that noise. In the information there, the about or whatever, how the on Twitch, you'll see a link to my Extra Life page. You can donate through there. Also my Facebook fundraiser page, you can donate through there. Ridden72 on Twitter and Instagram and Threads and Twitch and YouTube. If you miss a stream, I'm throwing them on YouTube. I don't edit or anything, so whatever happens here happens on YouTube. Editing, I might do thumbnails, but yeah, I don't have time for editing. But I'm not here to be suave. I'm just playing a game. Anyway, so yeah, so that's all on there. Okay. Alright, I'm still pretty stable, so I don't need a stabilizer. I'm sitting on 2 of them, so that's good. But I could use some food. But, oh yeah. Oh, look at that beautiful reroll. That is pretty sweet. Okay. So let's do grill caps. Yeah, I haven't exactly mastered yet cookie mushrooms, but a couple of handfuls of fried grills always beat expired rations. Yeah. You know what? I don't want to use a dice, so I got a bit of funds. I can just make a broth. No, we're just gonna, yeah, we'll throw some money. We like this local business person. Or Emphasis, our buddy. I'll get some fungus breakfast. Ugh, God. Yeah, I hate mushrooms. They're gross. Okay. Lemon Mina, worker and daughter. Okay, so yeah, I kind of screwed them over, so maybe this is a chance to fix that. Because I was thinking, see, I told you, I think about this game when I'm not playing it. I wondered if I win the draw to get on there, I would give it to them. Because, you know, I still got work to do on this station. So, yeah. So maybe this is what'll happen here. Let's see. Crowds have already gathered by the time you get to the shipyard, and you recognize faces among them, people you have worked alongside on the side rail. The intervening cycles have turned their excitement to, anxiety, and a few of them smile at you. Instead, the nervous energy of the crowd fills the space, creating a feedback loop of growing tension. Then you spot them, at the fringes. Lem and Mina, they are standing, Lem carrying Mina, staring across the entrance of the shipyard. Did they know the draw was today? Approach them. Lem, you cross to where they are standing. Hey, Sleeper. Lem looks suspicious. I was waiting for the work assignment. You know what is going on? Today's the draw. His face falls. Then we didn't make it. He looks down at Mina. He yawns loud. We're clearly bored of this place after so many days of waiting with her father for a work assignment. He looks back at you and opens his mouth to speak, and then thinks better of it. We better go. He starts to gather his things. Thanks for telling us. He nods and slips out. You watch him go and turn back to the crowd, trying not to think of how he must be feeling right now. Oh, that didn't work. Okay. You pick a spot towards the middle, out of the crush of the front, but close enough to observe. Thousands. The sounds of an argument behind you ratchets up the tension. This all starts to feel like a very bad idea. This is Aster Enghart of the Celis Foundation. The announcement echoes from the speakers at the shipyard entrance, and shouts of quiet rapidly follow. I'm sorry I can't be there to meet you all, and thank you on behalf of Sundry Celis for the work you have done on the sidereal horizon. Most of the crowd strains to see Aster's face. but the small display shows only a ghostly white figure, smudged and unqueer. Sandra wanted to pass on our personal thanks for your commitment to and belief in the Celis Foundation's mission. We chose the Eye for this project because we knew that we would find like-minded individuals here, especially among the ranks of the Venerable Heavenage Association. Unlike most of the Corps, we neither believe Erland's Eye to be a threat or a rogue state, but instead an embryo for the formation of a new decentralized social structure, one where each citizen might be the master of their own destiny. A ripple of impatience runs through the crowd. They didn't come here for a servant. Yeah, really. You're all pioneers, just like the Corps citizens who the side rail will carry in cryogenic sleep to the planet that will become the Foundation's first frontier world, Celis 1. At the mention of the destination world, excited conversations break out among the workers. There, our citizens will be able to create their own innovative bottom-up economic order aligned with the principles set down by the Sendri Celis herself, freedom, resilience, and self-sustenance. This is all thanks to your tireless efforts in the Havanage Gardens. As a reward for those efforts, you may know that we are offering a select group the opportunity to join the caretakers of this vision, the staff of the Sidereal who will maintain the vessel during its multi-decade transit through interstellar space. This draw has been performed at random by the central AIs of the Foundation and is final and binding. Please note, only licensed contractors of the Foundation are eligible for the draw. I know you've all been eagerly awaiting this day. Without further delay, I will now read the Celis identification numbers of those chosen for this great honor. Oh. Murmur through the crowd. Celis identification numbers? Licensed contractors? You have never even heard the term mentioned. Is this something you were supposed to be assigned? All around you, the people are speaking in hushed tones like a rising wave. Master starts reading out sequences of numbers and letters, and panic begins to set in. No one seems to know what is happening. Somewhere near the front of the crowd, someone shouts in celebration, and everyone pushes forward. Uh-oh. Someone throws something at the entrance, and it rattles against the shipyard doors. You see, for the first time, Havanage security stood on either side, scared, arguing between themselves. You feel the anger rising in the crowd. You feel the anger rising in you, too. They screwed you, screwed all of you. You were never even on the list. The feeling is as unpleasant as it is familiar. Push forward. Yeah. You let the anger take you, carry you forward with the surging crowd. The squeeze is heavy, and the shouts call from all around you in the chorus. The crowd becomes a blur, faces all angry, all confused. You aren't in control anymore. The crowd moves you. You see the fear on the faces of security as they are backed against the wall. One of them backs into the display they wheeled out for Aster's speech, and it falls, smashing across the floor. Projectiles fly from swung arms, and one catches you in the back of the head. You stumble forward and are pushed aside. The blur intensifies, and you stumble, spinning between bodies until you fall out of one side of the crowd and slam into a wall. You catch your breath there and watch as the crowd pushes forward and back against the shipyard wall. Suddenly the anger fades and fear takes its place. The crowd beats itself once more against the wall. It's time to go. You limp away, head down, as security sirens sound out a signal for the coming violence. Well, that didn't work. What was the drive that failed? Whoops. Nope. Back. Deal with Hunter free. No, my Archons help them work. Was that it? I know. Well, I think that's the one I already screwed up. Oh, win a side rail ticket. Draw didn't go. In fact, you never had a chance. Wait for the ticket. Oh, I guess I didn't wait. I don't know. Weird. Oh well. Alright, well, that's done. So, yeah. Let's go make some inroads at the commune. Well, so much for my big plans. I guess if I won the ticket somehow, if that was possible, I could have helped Lim, but... Ow, I just feel worse. What are you gonna do? Okay, work the grow beds. Here we go. And we're working. Negative! Oh. Work is both unforgiving and frustrating, and the bright attitude of the members irritates you. Is this place really so great? Eh, it's funny. Anyway, now we'll get it. Boom. Beds are slower than the stacks. They reward patience, not just effort. As you finish, the canteen workers bring out food for your cycle. Oh, that's nice. Well, now Now we're gonna help the canteen. Hey! After seeing you prepare the food, the grow-bed workers invite you to share a meal with them. The conversation flows warmly and friendly. And freely, sorry. Okay. We'll do one way out to 6, so it'll be fine. Boom. Positive outcome. The beds are sorted. Okay, same thing. Sweet. And I got some food for my hard work. Communist! Yeah, yay? It's a video game, it's cool, everybody, don't worry. Haifa dorm? Hey! I get to sleep over here instead of going back and forth on the thing all the time, that's nice. Very cool. Haifa commune, so is that way I can continue? Okay, work assignment. Okay. So for energy. Alright. So instead of buying food, okay. Rico, communist botanist. Whoops. Sorry, I was taking a drink. I have a giant stein filled with ice cubes and orange juice. Alright. You head down into the Haifa compound following a blue painted line that is labeled laboratories. The member you were assigned to work with you told you they'd asked to see you, but you still have no idea what about. Head of the Haifa botany is Rico. The line takes you to a blue door and through to a glass roof chamber where a network of stems and leaves filters the sunlight coming through the ceiling, casting the whole chamber in a strange yellow green. Peaceful, isn't it? Distracted by the green, you miss the woman standing on a lab bench, camouflaged by the dappled light. Welcome to my sanctuary, she smiles. Come, let's talk, she says, and beckons you closer. What is this place? Here, these were processing centers for the agriculture of the old corporate station. She offers a hand to shake. I'm Rico. I run the botany program at Haifa. What is Haifa? She looks surprised. You've been working in the compound for a while now. I'm surprised you don't know more. She lifts a tiny sample jar. Yellow spores dance inside. Haifa lives off the land in the greenway. That's what allows us to live like we do. No one here pays or is paid. We sleep here, we feed each other, we work for each other. Rico walks away from the bench and waits for you to follow. She opens a small door and leads you down a glass corridor surrounded by vivid green. All this, she says, gesturing at the overgrowth, it's kind of a miracle. She looks at you with bright eyes. What do you think usually happens to plants on stations like this when they are abandoned? They die. Eventually, yes, they cannot live without intervention. She leads you left at a crossroads. But here they endured, she smiles to herself. Actually, no, they thrived. You look at the bright tendrils wrapped around the metal frames of the corridor. They look dominant, strong, like they are taking control of this place. Rico continues. Of course, Solheim tried to create a stable biosphere here, patchworking the surface with gardens and algae tanks that fed into a network of microbial reclamation systems, but the Greenway was always envisioned as extractive, a place from which the harvest is removed and sold to those living on the station, not a closed loop. For this reason, when the collapse came, the Greenway should have gone with it. Erwin himself was so convinced of it that his first colony never even came here to try to reclaim it. The Eye instead relied on outside favors and influences, shipments from the inner system, and small-scale agricultural systems like kelp and fungal farm stacks. And yet here we are among growth and decay, a biosphere flourishing. When Haifa came here, we expected to find only vacuum-dried stalks and leaves and perhaps some fungal colonies hidden in the mulch, but we found a jungle. With this, Rico hits a button on the wall and leads you through a large pair of double doors into a huge, impossible chamber. What exactly is an impossible chamber? It is every kind of green, from the pale algae tanks to the dark vines that surround them. It is wet too, a rarity. Okay, I'm surrounded by nothing but humidity and dampness. I don't want to hear about this. Damn you, video game. It's supposed to be escapism. It is wet too, a rarity on the Eye. Condensation clouds the light from the high glass roof and gathers the shiny, broad leaves of shrubs. How? That is exactly our question. Rico turns to you, visibly excited by the room you're both standing in. It doesn't make sense, but in many ways the system is stabilized. Unlike the farm stacks closer to the gap, who need input to support their meager output, this place runs itself. Perhaps Solheim managed something new here, perhaps they tweaked the plants or built new systems buried deep below us, or perhaps their collapse caused some fortunate cascade, an unlikely chemical reaction within the biosphere. That's what I'd like you to help me find out. She turns to you, her forehead wet with dew. Aren't you the botanist? Astutely noticed. But I don't need a botanist, Rico sits on a railing. These halls run deep, Sleeper, and I'm getting old. She stamps her foot on the metal grating of the walkway. Whatever... Oh, metal foot. Cool. Whatever is causing this, it's to be found in the groves deep in the Greenway. Haifa won't spare anyone for an expedition. It's too dangerous and unnecessary, they say. I can make the case, but I can't get the votes. You sleepers are hardy beings, I know that much, and you can speak to the eye, uncover its secrets in ways I never can. She holds out an arm so you can help her stand. Bring me samples, spores, seeds, spores, spores, seeds, and blooms. I can grow them in the lab and study them. The deeper they are found, the better. I will try. I'm not going to be an acid if I don't want to. Thank you, she smiles, and thank you for listening. Rico leads you back to the huge chamber and up through the passages. She's a little slower now and stumbles on the steps. You help her where you can. It's good to have new blood in the commune, she says. Many of us have been here a long time, and few come through. She settles back at her bench in the lab, stretching her legs. You go to leave. Come back if you find something, Sleeper. There are discoveries to be made, and you follow the blue line back up out of the compound all the time, thinking of that impossible magical green. Okay. Oh, I can't stay over here. I got a cat to feed on the other one. Okay. Disable tracker. Work, help Rico's experiments. Collect spores. Grow mushrooms, collect spores, blah blah blah. I tell you what. Greenway Gate. Hello. Ah. Greenway is locked down. Okay, I guess that's where I have to do the cipher with the other thing. Fair enough. Fair enough. Okay. So, okay, so gaining with the Haifa commune has led to finding mushrooms. Is there a mushroom agenda that I don't know about? Because CitizenSleeper. Oh, Six never told. I'm sorry, Six never told 9. I just noticed now. Oh. Yeah, this game, it's pretty much read. I don't know if you ever played just really like simple command-based video games and everything like that, or if you read choose your own adventure books. If you read those kind of books where you have options, turn to page 42, turn to page 3. This game is kind of like that. So it's objective heavy. I like this kind of stuff, and the deep space kind of thing. If you like movies like Alien, Aliens, Event Horizon, that kind of thing, just deep space, all that kind of deal, you might get into it. But yeah, it is text heavy. If you don't enjoy reading or don't like subtitles in movies, you may not get into it, but I'm really enjoying it. And it was a friend that turned me onto it. So. But yeah, it's a lot of reading. Let's see here. Farm stacks, thief, steal the harvest, yeah. And you do things. Each time you start a new day, it's a new cycle. Across the top, I've only got a 6 left, but you get a row of dice, and that's what you have to accomplish a task. And you'll notice there's +1s on things with my stats. So in Engage and Endure, I get a +1 to whatever that dice is, and that kind of thing. So let's... Oops. Oh, well, there's my stats, for example. I have a skill point, but I already upgraded the first level, so I need 2 to upgrade anything further. But just to show you, in case you missed it, and I was rambling on and not looking, because you can tell I'm a professional streamer, let's do a task here. and search for signals. So when you choose one, it's either going to be a positive result, a negative result, or a neutral result. So a negative result, something bad's going to happen. Negative result, something bad's going to happen. So it says, negative energy. It would take my energy away. And a positive result will get me closer to my goal, which in this case is tracking Ashton. And you see the little dial towards the bottom? Each segment is how many successes I need to complete the mission. So since I'm using 6, if I had a 5, because I have a +1 with my abilities, it would turn into a 6, but it's a 6 anyway. So it was an absolutely positive outcome. Of course it was, but that filled in 3 segments. So I just need 5 more successes now to complete that. And so then when you use all your dice, you can't really do anything more until you start a new cycle. And like any good game, it has home ownership. And so I have to go back to my apartment to start a new cycle. And yeah, and actually, oh, that's great. What part of Toronto? I'm not in Toronto anymore. I'm actually out in Nova Scotia now, but I'm from Toronto. The last place, oh, Scarborough? Okay, yeah, I lived in Scarborough for a while. The last place I lived was Yonge and Eglinton area. Yeah, Scarborough, I was in, when I was a kid, it was, what was it, Aurora Court, and I moved a lot in Toronto. I mean, geez. The rent, how the rent fluctuates, everybody moves a lot. Rouge Hill, okay, yep. So, but yeah, but I also lived in Newmarket and Aurora, and all around the place. But yeah, Yonge and Eglinton was a great spot on Roehampton. It's very cool. And I spent all my money going to concerts, because that's what you do when you're in Toronto. So this is my apartment, and I have a cat, and I have to feed the stray. So I have to use my credits at the very bottom there on the left one, 326, those are my credits. And there's other jobs, places. I am also part owner of a bar, so I can, if I succeed in a task there, I'll get some money. And sometimes if you do well on the task, they'll also feed you for completing the task. Oh, why Nova Scotia? I couldn't afford to live in Toronto anymore. It was just getting way too expensive, so I moved out here. So, yeah. And this was 8 years ago, it was getting too expensive. I've been out here 8 years now in Nova Scotia. So, I would have to win about 5 lotteries maybe to get a nice house on the Danforth or something. That was the dream, a house on the Danforth. Alright, so feed the cat. Can't let the cat die. And end the cycle. Now I also have an ability, if I don't like the dice I get, I can re-roll. So we'll see what happens. Okay. So the very top bar, because I'm an android, robot, whatever you want to call it, synthetic, at some point I'll have to inject a stabilizer, and if I'm not at full, I won't get 5 dice, so the worse it gets, the less dice I get. But 3 6s and a 3, I'll take it. So if we go back to the ever-growing, you finish one objective, you get 2 more kind of thing. Yeah. So work for Rabia, this is kind of where there's factions in this game, and you're trying to kind of solve a mystery and all that thing. So I'm going to start working for Rabia. I think they're over here. No, that's the other thing. this little, just to cross the bridge, it's a little annoying. But there's Rabia's office, went right by it. Okay. So I gotta complete a bunch of tasks to start working for Rabia. Collect ties. So this faction, this Yadigan faction, there isn't any police on this station, this oversized station, so the Yadigan faction has decided, well, we'll be the police, we'll keep everybody safe and all that kind of thing. So I think they're also kind of a mob deal. But I have +1 to both of these things, and I got a pile of 6s, so that should be alright. Now, even if I use the 4, well, it's a 3, but it'll become a 4, 25% chance I'll get a positive result, 50% chance neutral, 25% chance negative. And if I do get a negative, my condition will worsen, which is not great, but I have 2 stabilizers and stuff, so if things get dire, I can do something about it. But we're going to roll the dice because it's fun. And I got a neutral outcome, and I got some energy back, which was cool. Among the craftsmen and merchants, you visit a chef who insists on feeding you, and the other enforces a rich stew of his own recipe. So there you go. Friendly person. Now these things are repeatable actions, so I can just spend all my dice here. Some actions you can only do once, depending on what they are. That kind of thing. But yeah, I mean, I'm really enjoying this game. I think it's on sale now on PlayStation, so it's probably on sale on Steam too, as well. And then there's the sequel's coming out, I think, this year. They just announced it, or I don't know if they announced a date for it. But yeah, it's pretty good. So, patrol the ward. Perform many roles from protection to logistics and everything in between. You never know what you may have to face on a patrol. So now it's like a buddy cop kind of thing. So even with a 6, it only filled in 1 segment. Sometimes it'll fill in 2 or 3 if you get a 100% positive result. But not in this case, so this will take a while. But it's repeatable, so that's okay. You help a dentist running a surgery from their unit with their equipment. They offer you a restorative infusion and you feel better immediately. Well, that's cool. Let's collect a tithe. One mechanic ties a new filtration system for the block's atrium, and after you help install it, he offers you some of the remaining scrap. Okay, so I got some scrap components. That's cool. So, you know, they use credits and everything, but there's also a barter system situation for some of the vendors. Now, this is an ongoing one, so you might complete a task, but then there's a cycle clock. So in this case, this is how many cycles or days before the next thing happens. So 4 cycles have gone, so 2 more cycles, this will continue its story. So you kind of keep an eye on the overarching tasks, and then try to get small ones done in between while you're waiting for another one. So, yeah. But I think I am going to use the stabilizer. Stabilizers cost $80 from the local dispensary. 80 cryo, sorry. And yeah, I should do that. There we go. Now go back to the apartment. Feed the cat. And you want to take a stabilizer before, you want to fill up your meter before you end the cycle, because then you'll get 5 dice to roll. It took me a couple days to figure that out. I also have another perk where I can sunbathe and restore some energy, but that does take up a dice to do it, when I can easily, now that I've done more, there's a lot of tasks where if I complete them, the quest giver just feeds me, so I don't have to waste dice or money. Anyway, there's my stabilizer. Because as a synthetic, I need that to stay alive. It's explained in the beginning of the game. Alright, so that is a lot of crap dice. There's 1, 5, and then all that low shit, so we don't want that. That is slightly better. So we'll take it. Okay, so that is still going to take a while. So let's take a look at here. We'll turn that off for now. And crack Conway. Now, do I have that Ripper Worm? I do. So let's work on that. I believe that is in this section. Wild margins, Hypodorm, Hypha, the wastes. Gather, what? No, that's not good. Conway access, there we go. Also as a thing, you can hack stuff, so. Because you're a machine. Spot the Ripper Worm, here we go. Neutral outcome. Okay, so action unavailable, so I can't do anything, so that usually means there's a next, here we go, the cloud. As you slot the worm, a thread jumps up out of the facility and spools in front of you, releasing its data like ink in water. Sleeper, Fang's voice crackles through, moving in. Nodes, then ports, a whir of interference, slot the worms. Timer starts now, stay safe. Timer. Uh-oh. The thread dissipates, you are on your own now. Okay. Crack the 3 layers of security. Yeah, we can do that. Okay. So because I have a +1, if I have a 2, I can do that. Or if I have a 3. But it's not... Oh, I do have a 3, thank God. Okay, good. I pass. Extract. Now I have a perk that gives me money every time I succeed at one of these things. If you do get this game and decide to level up, focus on perks and things that help you gather resources. Just makes it easier. Okay, can't repeat that action, so go to the next one. Ripper Worm. Layer unlocked. Okay, and then there's some more. Level 2, so we need a 4 for that. I got a 4. Extract. Neutral outcome. Well, I mean, data was extracted, so. Nope, nope, nope. Wrong way. There we go. Need a 5, good. Okay. Worm. I'm gonna run out of dice. get the feeling none of these are going to take a 1. Alright. Cross to the rim. Now I hate wasting dice. So sometimes there's other things you can hack just, again, for resources, and that takes a 1, so that's good. And... oops. That's if I want to work there, I can't actually buy anything there. This is a noodle stand. I don't want to start the next cycle with even less energy, so I'll just top off here. So yeah, it seems like a lot to go through, but in the beginning of the game, it starts you off little by little, and then as you expand and make more connections, get more quests done, and the universe expands, so to speak. It's easy to figure out. Okay, feed the cat, and end the cycle. That many 4s, but it could be worse. Yep, it was worse. Damn it. Whoa. Things progress. Conway extraction. Oh yeah, we're fine, don't worry. A 5. Ooh. Hey, there we go. Okay. Damn it. Well, that's not super great. Harvest the mushrooms. Neutral, I'll take it. 2 random mushrooms. Alright. So, not so great. Barter for food, yeah, we're not doing that. So yeah, so not great with the, actually I don't want to waste, that's a lot of dice to waste. There's gotta be stuff to hack here. There we go. Oops. Evidence agents, go. 2. Sorry. No. That again? 1? Alright. At least if you get stuck with a lot of low ones, you can usually get some hacking done and that just build up some resources. Because those data points you can exchange for stuff. And get some food. That could turn into something, could be the big bad of the whole thing at the end, I don't know, but I'm gonna feed the cat. Come on, dice. What is with these dice? Well, it's a couple fives. Clock's ticking though, man. Alright. Really? I needed a 6 and it's not going to give me the 6. Bloody hell. Yeah, we might as well do stuff here then. Search for signals. What the hell? Get a +1, so that'll be a positive. You notice a spike of activity, a vast transfer of information taking place. What is happening out there? Who knows? Find evidence of a temporary camp set up by someone with military precision. Could this be Ashton's work? You know, it probably is. And at least that completes that. So let's meet up with Enkita. The trail ahead extends deep into the overgrown section of the Greenway. At this far end of the ring, where the long, lazy curve of the Greenway becomes the shattered landscape of the waste, things are oddly quiet. Ahead stands a vast farm stack, broken from its access by rust or force, and lying amongst the overgrown landscape like an ancient temple. It is stained with moss and algae, flows of green running out from its broken tanks like a frozen brackish tide. This is where Ashton is hiding, you are pretty sure. All your intuition points to the shadows beneath this collapsed superstructure. You roll the comm headset, and Kita gave you in your palm. Call in Kita or go alone. Interesting. I mean, Enkita seemed cool when we helped fix her ship. Didn't try to screw us out of credits or anything like that, or cryo or whatever it's called. Go alone. No, I'm gonna call Enkita. You slip the headset into your ear and it fizzles with static. After a few moments you hear CitizenSleeper, have you located the target? A doubt enters your mind. Can you be sure he is there? I mean, my intuition points to the shadows. I'm pretty sure. I don't know. No, hold. A confused silence at the other end. Maybe it's better that you confirm that Ashton is there. Remove headset. You put the headset back in your pocket. Not yet. You need confirmation. Alright. Yeah. You survey the route ahead. There is a direct route, a line of broken pillars that take you into the center of the structure, or you could skirt around the pillars, keeping to the cover of the raised spine of the Greenway and work your way around. It will take longer, but it's better concealed. Oh yeah, no, we're going to skirt around. Decide on the long route and head off towards the central spine. It is slow going there with the overgrowth meets the metal, where the overgrowth meets the metal wall, but it is also concealed that you can barely see the glass roof high above. You follow the wall, knowing it will lead you to the edge of the collapsed stack. For the final part of the journey, you have to work your way through dense undergrowth, pushing aside branches and fronds. It is exhausting, and you stop on a small rise to rest. It has been hours since you began. You desperately hope Ashton hasn't moved on. Hours? Holy shit. Just ahead, a soft glow is coming from somewhere within the farm stack. A grow light, still on after all these years, perhaps. You take a little longer to rest, then push on. You follow the faint glow of the stack. You find a broken stack and step through the opening, trying to avoid the broken glass that sits among the moss and algae. You work your way up the slanted stack carefully, quietly. Somewhere water drips, and you swear you hear birdsong. Hanging plants catch the light, coating the place in pale and sickly green. As you reach the edge of the tank, you hear something, an echoing hiss like a hydraulic piston. You quickly move up to where the tank opens in the central drum and look over the edge. The vast drum is like a cistern, with plants growing on all sides and wet mossy islands at its base. It is beautiful, and for a moment, you can't see anything but tones of green. Then you see the sleeper. Aw, shit. In a faint cycle of light descending through the drum, the sleeper lies slumped at an angle. They are surrounded by crates, and beside them, on one of the mossy islands, there is an object, a cylinder set on a tarp. It is connected to the sleeper's head. You flinch. Are they one of the others? One of the ones that escaped with you? You squint, trying to recognize them. They are twisted, broken, open, wrong. You look away. Wait or jump down? No, we're being cautious. You wait, unsure what to do, your eyes fixed on the broken sleeper at the center of the drum, on the connection between them and the ship mind. You think of what might be passing through that connection. Thoughts, memories, or just data. You hear a sound, a quiet hiss, then soft footsteps below you, and Kita enters, her sidearm in hand. She must have followed the signal from the headset. Yeah, I thought that might happen. Has she been spying on you? You watch her step into one of the mossy islands, the water around rippling as she does. The gunshot breaks the silence, blanking on its noise. It hits Ankita's shoulder piece, the ceramic armor cracking but holding as she braces into the impact. She launches herself forward, the now activated armor launching her across the drum. Another shot goes wide before she reaches the cover of the crates beside the sleeper. Shit, you hear the sound from one of the tanks high off the far wall, and Kita reaches over and wraps a hand around the thick connection between the ship mind and the sleeper. What is she doing? You better come down here or I'll rip this right off... What? You better come down here or I'll rip this right out of their head, she screams at the wall of tanks. You shiver at the suggestion. Ankita, stop. Ankita flinches, but she doesn't take her eyes from Ashton. Quiet, sleeper, Ankita shouts. Shot rips through the moss beside you, filling your vision with green. The shooter must be somewhere on the other side of the tank. Do that again, I swear to God I'll tear their head off. Ankita shouts to them. Sleeper, you stay down. There's a long pause. All you can hear is the dripping of water running down the walls of the drum. Then Ashton calls out. There's Ashton. Disgraced mercenary. I'm coming down, Ankita. Don't do anything stupid, for God's sakes. He appears at the far end of the drum, far side of the drum, stepping through the shallow water, rifle raised above his head. Drop the gun, Ankita shouts. He throws it down to the moss, and you lean out to watch. You see him catch your eye, clocking your presence. Whoa. What are you up to here, Ashton, you sicko? She stands, keeping her sidearm trained on his head. You ripped my ship mind for what, some freakish experiment? Ashton approaches with shaking hands, his eyes now fixed on the connecting bundle of wires that Ankita still has a hold of. Steady, Ankita, it isn't like that. I needed the ship mind. You have to understand. They would have died without it. Oh? What are you talking about? I don't give a shit why you ripped my ship mind and crippled my ship. I should put you down right now. She tightens her grip on the connection. Typical of you, Ankita. No curiosity, Ashton smiles shakily. That's why I never asked for your help. You only look after yourself. He nods at you. That sleeper up there, they're just bait, right? To draw me out? Kita sucks a breath in. Are you trying to give me more reasons to shoot you? I love them, Ankita. Ashton looks at the crumpled sleeper. I love them and they were going to die. I knew you would never understand that. He starts closing the gap between himself and Ankita now, slowly, inching forward. Don't do that, Ashton. Don't do that. Let the wires go, Ankita. Let us go. If you don't, get out of my way. Please. He inches closer. I can't let you take it, Ashton. Ankita hardens her stare. You stole it from me. You left me for dead. You think I'm going to trust you after all that? I need it, Ankita. I need them to survive. Ashton is in reach of the sleeper now, of Ankita. I'm going to take them now, Ankita. He raises a hand. I'm going to take the ship line and go. Ankita loosens her grip on a connection a little. Her hand is shaking now. Stop, Ashton. She lowers the gun a little. Stop. Seeing her drop her guard, he makes his move. A blur of movement, a struggle, a shot, another. You recoil back behind the edge as they ricochet around the inside of the drum, the sound deafening you. When you crawl back to the edge, Ashton is bleeding into the water, the red and the green. Ankita is standing at the center of the drum, the severed connection in her hand. The water drips endlessly, drip after drip after drip. Wow, that just ended really badly. You force yourself to look at the broken sleeper. There is no sign of life, of humanity. They are just another broken object among other broken objects, while all around living things grow and thrive. Kita finally looks back at you, tears in her eyes. She begins to say something, but something that might be sorry, but you are already gone. Wow. Well, that didn't work at all, did it? We'll just find it. Talk to Ankita about what happened. Okay, so nothing failed yet. Whoop. Wrong button. There we go. Yeah, well, we can't do any more with cracking the Conway thing, because I got shitty dice. So let's go find Ankita. He was over here. Nope, not there. No. Container, habitat offices. That's scrap freight or an exchange. She in the tea house? Nope. Caster's table, no, still useless. Free spoke. Alright, well, I guess I'll just have to track it. Oh, yeah, no, that's not it. Oh, I don't know where Ankita is, so I can't talk to her then. So we're going back to that. Maybe Ankita will just find me or something, I don't know. Alright, let's hack some stuff. Use up those dice. tea house, we can use some of that. And get some money. If we go all the way to here, because I'll have to buy another stabilizer eventually, so might as well stock up. Great, 375, excellent. And we will end the cycle. Beat the cats. Still stable. Flickering. Uh-oh. But at least it's 5s and a 6. And a 1. I'm not going to chance the reroll because 5 and 6 is good to have. Let's see. What that's where she was before. Yeah. So yeah, so I don't know where Inkita's. Not gonna worry about it, we gotta get this done. We are on the clock for this one. What is that? Oh, is this Ankita? Ankita is away. Huh. Sleeper stay, I'll be ready soon. Oh, okay. It's docked here in a rickety old jetty, but she's sealed up. A note says, Sleeper stay, I'll be ready soon. Oh, okay, well that answers that. Fine. Good. Riverworm. All layers unlocked. Alright. A thread from the facility cuts through the cloud like a hairline crack of light. That's it. The final layer of security broken. Huzzah! Somewhere buried in the depths of the station, Feng is in control. He is slicing into the camera control circuits and piping out the result. The thread flickers and unravels into an image, a scene, 2 figures in a room, one sat, the other pacing. The pacing figure resolves into Hardin, the unmistakable superior posture, the shock of gray hair. The second figure's features don't seem to resolve, they are vague, unformed. A problem with the data, perhaps? You go closer, then you see it. The figure is a proxy. Perhaps you should have expected it from Conway, a corporation whose very existence is owed to automation. The proxy is a machine designed to be piloted by remote connection, someone elsewhere in the system puppeteering it with their own body, so to speak. Speaking so it may speak. There we go. The proxy sits impassively, or the Conway executive that is piloting them does, from the distant safety of some ship or orbital colony perhaps. We can move forward, there is no doubt, Hardin is saying. The reclamation teams are almost ready, and after that I will make the declaration. Nothing has to change. The proxy leans forward, its movements stilted, uneven, as if the body was being refracted through water. But things must change, Hardin. We need further assurances. I have been informed of a breach in one of the closed networks in the low end. You have been careless. Hardin waves the accusation away. We have been stretched. A breach was detected, yes, but no data of value was lost. Our board is concerned, Hardin. A drop in the value would become unwelcome at this time. The proxy leans back, its posture dominant. If the reclamation of AE1 is contested, then we could be drawn into a compromising legal position. Well, you don't want that. Compromising legalities. Oh yeah. Harden approaches the proxy. There will be no contest, not from Solheim, who cannot muster a defense, not from Havenage, who will fall into the line below me. A little self-assured there. Crouches in front of the seated figure, eye to eye, and the people of the station, refugees, gangs, spacers, all either opportunists or degenerates. Havenage is no longer strong, no longer united. No one here believes in Erwin's vision, nor has the strength to enact it. I sat across from him at the negotiating table. He was forceful, eager, weakened by his ideological convictions, perhaps, but a great man nonetheless. This place no longer deserves to bear his name. The eye is crippled. It cannot survive. It is a ruin filled with squatters and outlaws. They will be lucky if it still spins in 100 cycles. Harden stands. You will move forward with reclamation because otherwise you will lose your advantage in the system. Without your advantage, you will lose claims on the remaining palladium. Without the palladium, your factories will go dark. He pauses. Do I need to continue? One moment comes a response from the proxy, and its head drops to its chest. Harden steps back and paces once more, awaiting the discussion taking place elsewhere in the system. You watch Harden as he paces, as he considers his future. What goes on within a mind like that? In the mind of a man. In the mind of man. Should be of a man. In the mind of man who would burn all these around him for a path to some imagined golden end. Proxy lifts its head. We are happy to proceed. We will legally claim the station formerly known as Solheim AE1 as salvage within 6 cycles. Havenage is to assist with the transport of the illegal residents to the Conway housing and labor facilities. Wow. The proxy judders to its feet. Conway will also claim 70% of the raw output of the reclamation process after losses have been accounted for. Harden nods. I accept. Oh. Proxy reaches out to shake his hand like a marionette, and then the recording loops. You watch it play out a second time, gripped by a horrified fascination. There is a bluntness to the conversation, to its blatant disregard for humans as anything other than objects. Things to be moved, to be used, to be fed into structures crushed and losses accounted for in the cells of tables, the margins of ledgers. You realize now that you are no different than anyone else on the station in the eyes of people in that room, and those like them. Each body here can be recast as a piece of property, a tool, an expense, an acceptable loss. In one moment they can be named a citizen, celebrated, protected, and in another the very idea of citizenship can be used against them. This is what it means to live in proximity to a system like this. No longer, not while the eye spins. You gather the recording, pack it into a polygon of purest light. Then you drift down to the service dock like a falling leaf and find the relay. It only takes a second to place the polygon of data, that recording, into the relay system Finn prepared, and then you watch as it bursts out a web of threads heading into the black to every network device on the eye. Let them see what power makes of a man. Oh shit. Icebreaker trophy. Here we go. I completed a drive without failing it. Look at that. I'm the best. And I can do an upgrade. Okay. So what do we got? Hard to kill. Keep 2 dice, even when condition is breaking. All cryo actions are discounted by 20%. I like that. I find games like this, if you can make resources something you don't have to worry about, it just makes everything easier. Because I'm absolutely fine with resource management in games, if it's done well, obviously. Recycle all of your dice once per roll. Why would I need a +2? Maybe better dice. Yeah, no, let's get that. But yeah, because farming can be real annoying if you need to do it. And if you get things, you get 2 back, you get random stuff. It adds up nicely. Forgive me, there's an ice cube in my mouth.
Wait for Feng to return. Oh, okay. Can I find Ashton? We're waiting for Ankita. Bring mushrooms to the briar. Okay. We have some mushrooms. Oh, harvest, yeah. We can do that. Boom. 2 random rare mushrooms. Hey, that's cool. Let's bring the ones to the briar here. Oh, mushroom groves. Maybe not just yet. Let's go to the briar. Briar, where is the briar? And purchase the wastes. Is that the briar? Climbing the briar. Oh! Well, I don't want to do that yet because that's the DLC. So I unwittingly started Flotilla. Okay, so Flotilla 8 is DLC, so we're not doing it. That's just the end of that. Okay, so collect spores for Rico. Let's do that. Collect spores right there. Two spores, that's good. Good. Greenway gates. I guess there's nothing more that can be done with it right now until... Let's see what it says. Slot the Greenway cipher. I guess that's what Feng is working on. So... just have to wait for that. So we'll do a hacking and call it a cycle. Boom. There we go. Oh, I got 2 for that. Nice. Nice. 371. Yeah, let's turn in one of those. Gives me 380. Oh hell, let's turn in another one. Actually, no. We have an abundance of the other one, so let's use it. What's going on over here? Feng's Bay. Feeling's chaotic, most of it total lockdown. No one will give you a straight answer about Feng or Heart. Well, I can just stay that way then. Have an edge. We got 12 of those. Okay. Great. 421. Some food. Oh, Mustaki broth. Hey! Yeah, let's do that. Sorry, Rico. $20% off? Hell yeah! I'm down with that. Huh. Well, Harvest. Alright, she wanted spores, so there we go. Need 3 total, but here's 2. Okay. Fortunately, I didn't get any food anywhere. Hey, 20% off. Alright. Inject stabilizer. Oh, I didn't buy one. I gotta buy one. 64. Hell yeah. Everything's coming up, Millhouse. Oh, I didn't feed the cat. Or maybe I did. I don't know, I forgot. I don't know. Hey, just got retweeted by Jimmy. That is awesome. Hey, there's Jimmy! I was just talking about Jimmy. I noticed your retweet, or your like. Thank you, sir. How's the humidity where you are? It's keeping me awake, which is why I'm streaming way past my bedtime. Oh, that's a 6 and a 5. I should probably keep that. Screw it, roll the dice. Hey, that worked out. Look at that. Those are nice dice. Yeah, it's hot and humid and nasty. It's been that way going on 2 weeks now out here in Nova Scotia, Jimmy. I don't care for it. In case that wasn't clear. Not bad here. Oh, renovations, okay. Cool, cool. Family's doing well? Summer is going well for you? Oh, I need spores. Hold your answer, I need spores. Quick spores, there we go. Use a 4 on that. Summer neutral outcome. Good enough. Typical with summer. I enjoy, yeah, besides humidity. I take all my vacation time in the winter months and stuff, so I'm anxious for that. But work is air conditioned, so that's always nice. But yeah, it's doing well. Just celebrated my aunt's birthday. That was fun. And I know my nephews, I think, are off Disney World, so they're having a great time. But yeah, you know, working, playing this fun game, waiting for Spider-Man. Do you have any big plans left for the summer? Trips or anything like that? Or are the renovations keeping you at home? If you hear crunching, that's ice cubes. I'm not going to apologize. I chew ice cubes all day now. Spores! Oh, you're going to the Fan Expo? Nice. I love the Fan Expo. I used to go there. I got a fantastic Spawn statue the last time I was there. And, yeah, the only other one I want to get now is the Gunslinger Spawn. I love Gunslinger Spawn. And, so that's the only, you know, I have many collections of one, but the Spawn statue, which sits proudly on my coffee table, it's one of those glass coffee tables, flanked by both felt hard-covered editions, volume 1 and 2 of Hellboy comics. So, you know, my coffee table seems to suggest I'm some kind of Satan worshiper. But if you know about Spawn and Hellboy, they don't care for Satan, so, you know, it works out. But maybe, you know, makes intruders think twice. Okay, Rico here. Sleeper, Rico greets you with so much as looking up from her work. I have some of yours here, come see. She beckons you over to a heavyweight-looking console wired to a series of specimen jars, some of which contain your spores. What does it say? The spores you have here are a rare cocktail.
selection of types from within the groves, but I've been able to isolate a few. She taps one of the specimen jars. Here we have, oh, here we go. Tricholoma, Matsutake. Rico breezes through the Latin and Japanese pronunciation as if it was nothing. I did not do that. A species Solheim somewhat modified for use on the station. She brings up a panel on her console showing a chemical composition, all gradient bars and obtuse acronyms. This is the composition of Solheim modified Matsutake spores. You know, I'm getting better at my Japanese pronunciations thanks to AEW, the new wrestling company, because they have a really good partnership now with New Japan Pro Wrestling, and so a lot of their top stars, when they come over to the States, they're on AEW, and AEW sends a lot of their people over to Japan, and it's pretty good. So I'm getting better. It's, you know, and for as many RPGs that I play, especially things like Zelda and Final Fantasy and stuff, I need to be, you know, pretty much only playing Sony. I should be getting better at my, and Godzilla, I'm a Godzilla fan, you know that. New Godzilla movie, December 1st. Very excited. Yeah, so anyway, I need to really start working on my, because I enjoy this stuff, want to be respectful. Anyway, am I supposed to understand that? Yeah, good response. That's the number of AEW's original talent have. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, they have their own podcast and everything, and of course they all say it's the greatest place we ever worked, and Tony Khan, the owner and everything, he's the best boss ever on the planet, so, you know, it's people congratulating themselves for sure, but, yeah, all the ones that are originals, they're still there, so there's got to be some truth to it. It's one of the best or the better places they worked, so happy workers, it translates onto TV. I'm enjoying it. This past Wednesday's episode I didn't enjoy, but I mean, they can't all be winners. But anyway, am I supposed to understand that? Not entirely, no, but I think you'll understand this. Rico brings up another panel, identical in layout, but with wildly different colors and numbers. You see, this is what your Matsutake spores look like. They aren't the same. That's the conclusion, yes. Rico glances at the specimen jars if it might have something to add. They are fundamentally the same spores, but they carry different chemicals, different signals. She leans back and sighs. Solheim may have introduced their own tweaked versions in the beginning, but the groves have and still are affecting them. Affecting them how? It's hard to tell without samples of fully grown mushrooms, and herein lies your problem. Contacts. Yeah, especially big names like Jericho and even Kenny Omega, the Young Bucks and stuff like that, who are bigger on the independent scenes, like Kenny Omega and the Young Bucks were never in WWE, but they're worldwide famous and every other company famous. So, but yeah, I mean, they're all in from the ground floor, and they're sticking with it, so it's nice, and it's great, you know, like, Coke needs Pepsi, Pepsi needs Coke, because they kind of keep each other on their toes, right? So WWE needs... AEW is never going to beat WWE because WWE has like a 30-year head start, and they're already completely worldwide. So they don't need to beat WWE, they just need to be a top alternative. And, I mean, it's like with anything in that kind of entertainment field, people go back and forth. Everybody knows each other, so it's not just red versus blue all the time, you know. So it really doesn't matter. That's not the... You're never gonna have another Monday Night Wars like WCW and WWE. That's not gonna happen again. But AEW just needs to be an alternative, so that way WWE doesn't get complacent and they still keep doing what they already know how to do for the last 3 decades. So WWE's fine. AEW will never be a threat. But they just have to make sure they don't lose the #1 spot. Only WWE will take themselves out of #1. So, but yeah. She moves to another desk where 2 trays sit side by side. The first contains nothing but plant mulch. The second you smell before you even look at it. The pungent aroma of the fruiting Matsutake, like rotting, sodden overalls, laced with an edge of spice. AEW I find is fun. I'm enjoying it. I've stopped. I think I already probably mentioned this to you, but I stopped watching WWE because they hired Logan Paul, and that hit a moral line for me. So I'm not impressed, and I'm not gonna. So I'm not. I'm in kind of, yeah, I know, and he's not there every week, but he's always he's on the pay-per-views and stuff, and that will ruin the pay-per-view. So I just stopped altogether. I'm a huge Roman Reigns fan, who's like the top guy right now. He's been champion for like 3 years. Has been the best storyline that's ever happened to WWE, and I have had to stop watching it halfway through, which really sucks. But I can't, the presence that Logan Paul might show up at any time just ruins the whole show for me, right? So I can't even watch it. So it's great that AEW is even around. I think I would still be this much into it if I was still watching WWE, but yeah, so I'm glad that it's good. So I get my wrestling fix, I can still watch AEW. But yeah, they're up to 3 shows a week. They got a Wednesday and Friday and a Saturday show. So, but yeah, go to their channel, watch highlights, and they have a lot of back catalog of just all their wrestling from different stars and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, just go through, see what you like. But Sting, he's 62. I don't know if you know Sting. He just did a match where he did a stunt. He crashed through a table onto somebody else. Didn't break a hip, So like he's purposely ending his career in AEW, right? So like it'll be his last run. The tag champions right now, they just did a four more year contract with AEW, and that's going to be their last run. They're planning on retiring after that 4-year contract is done. So and there's a ton of new people like Darby Allin and Sammy Guevara who are really good. MJF, who's the current AEW champion. So these guys are all in their 20s, and so they're good. They're future stars for sure. So there's a great mix of veterans who want to end their careers in a place like AEW, help the new guys, and then the new guys are already becoming stars, and they've got national TV shows to showcase their stuff, right? So it's pretty cool. And it's always neat to start watching something when it started, like WWE started in late 70s, I think it was the WWF at the time, and then when it became the TV thing, it was like 84. I think 84 or something was the first WrestleMania, something like that. I was only 3, so I had no idea. But so with AEW, it's only 4 years old, so it's neat to watch. Okay, she moves to another desk where 2 trays sit by side. The first contains nothing but plant mulch. The second you smell before you even look at it. The pungent aroma of fruiting. Oh, I already read that. The Matsutake here are grown from Solheim stalks, pulled from a spore vault in its complex. She winks. They are delicious, by the way. She sets them aside. The tray is germinated with the spores you collected. No activity, no germination, nothing. But the groves are full. Oh, yeah. There's no dog in this game that I can tell, but there is a stray cat that I can feed outside of my apartment in this game. So, take that, Final Fantasy 16. I have a stray cat that doesn't mind that I exist. So, there you go. Not that that was a form of, a form of contention or anything. I just thought of it right now. So I thought I'd yell at you, Jimmy, because it's fun. But the groves are full. Yes, they are. Rico looks at you directly, and you suddenly realize how much she is enjoying this. So here is our puzzle. Sleeper, spores from the groves won't grow in the lab. Oh my god. But gathering fruit bodies from the groves is too unpredictable. We need to grow a fruiting body from some of these spores so we can track it and understand it. In short, I need you to become my mushroom farmer. Alright, there's a serious mushroom agenda in this game. I don't know what they hope to achieve, but I have a lot of quests right now. That has to deal with mushrooms, that has to deal with mushrooms, and that has to deal with mushrooms. So I have 3 quests All about mushrooms. I don't even think it's the fun mushrooms. I think it's just enlightenment. This is like, you know, sustaining. Like this whole section is the nice little communist section of the ship, of the station. And yeah, actually I did already start. That is true. Because I had to go get mushrooms for. I made a friend of this guy who runs a noodle stand, and so he's already given me a few quests about mushrooms that I still have. A bar that I opened. The person I opened it with, they just want to sell different mushroom dishes. And now I'm doing experiments with mushrooms, and yeah. It's a mushroom agenda, dude, and I don't get it. But either way, still fun. Rico looks impressed. Well, an eager mycologist? I get vocabulary out of video games. People don't realize that. I'd never have guessed. I assume you set yourself up in the aviary. I've been eyeing that place up for its proximity to the groves. Excuse me. Bring me whatever grows, not just Matsutake. There's more than a couple of variants in there, so I need plenty of samples. She plucks a Matsutake cap from the tray. The sad part is I hate mushrooms. I do not like them at all. If I know there's mushrooms in the dish, I will not touch the dish. Mushrooms, I think, are gross. They are dirt. Somehow accepted dirt that people put in their food, and I don't understand. But what are you gonna do? These little things are reflections of their conditions, their smell, their taste, their chemistry. It all derives from the conditions of their growth. Yeah, they grow in filth, but whatever. She smells the cap. Don't smell the cap, lady. Enough of these, and we'll have a picture of what is happening here, of the ways in which the biosphere is modifying itself, or being modified, whichever the case may be. Rico pops the Matsutake cap in her mouth, taking you by surprise. Yeah, that's nasty. And don't worry, Sleeper, she says. If this turns out to be a dead end, I'll make sure that not a single mushroom will go to waste. Yeah, throw them all out the airlock. I don't give a shit. Alright. Grow mushrooms for Rico. Yeah. Alright. Enough of this mushroom stuff. Nope. Let's see. Flotilla Aid is for the DLC, and I'm not done the base game yet, so I'm not touching the DLC. Let's see if Ankita is ready to talk. Where did we leave? Is that her? Yeah. Ankita is away. One more cycle. Alright. Okay. So that's not a thing. Get to know Emphas, bring Emphas, Matsuno. Everybody wants Matsutake. It's all about the Matsutake. Yeah, you know what? Let's go back to that. And yeah, because I got 5s and 6s, so let's use that. You enjoy them? Jimmy, we can't be friends anymore. No, that's fine. Just don't make me anything with mushrooms if we ever hang out. I appreciate you stopping by, Jimmy. You have a good night. Have a good week. I'll keep an eye out if you're streaming on Friday, or the next time you're streaming anyway. I should get an email about it, but yeah. I'll try to stop by for your next stream. And thanks again for the Twitter love. I appreciate it. I'm only growing these mushrooms for the game. I would never do it in real life. Later, man. Oh, that's right. Yes, all that stuff. Okay. Well, I'm still sticking to my Weekend Warrior schedule, so if you have a moment, please stop by next weekend and let me know how all that's going. I'm gonna try and do my Sunday morning thing next weekend. Today I got all messed up. But earlier in the day on the weekends, I think I'm gonna try for that. Humidity permitting, of course. Let's patrol.
Hey, I helped a dentist. This game is wild, dude. Oh, and I got some scrap. That's nice. Scrap is good. Okay, so 3 left. That is a nice, serious dent. I like it. Uh-oh. As you say your goodbyes to the other enforcers and walk back through low end, a chirruping catches your attention. In a quiet corridor away from the main thoroughfares, someone has stuck a small recorder to the wall with suit sealant tape. Written across the fluorescent tape is one word, Sleeper. Peel it away from the wall, and as you do, it triggers some kind of improvised trip switch. Sleeper, Sabine. Oh, Sabine, the doctor. I remember Sabine. Sleeper, Sabine's voice crackles through. I have seen you with the Yadigan members. Are they holding you captive now too? A high whine. I'm sorry if I dragged you into this. Do not trust them. Something is happening within the gang, some kind of power struggle. You cover the speaker a little, their voice too loud in the quiet corridor. I will come soon. Thanks to your efforts, I have located most of their properties at the right time. A pause. I will see you soon. Don't give up. Remember our deal. This recording cuts out. Alright, so she's still alive, so that's nice. You stare at the recorder, processing what you've just heard. Hearing Sabine's voice again opens up something inside of you. As an ARP employee, do you know that I know? Do they know that I know? You struggle with a mix of concern and distrust. You throw the recorder into a nearby waste chute. As you leave the corridor, still unsure of who to trust, you head quietly out of low end. Oh. Alright. The plot thickens. Okay. So, feed the cat. How we doing on time? It's after midnight for me. But I still have a nice bitchin' headache. Whew. We'll probably end the stream in a little bit, but we'll keep going for now, because stuff's getting interesting. Not that it hasn't been interesting a ton. Okay. I'm not chancing losing those 2 6s. Those are too good. Alright. What do we got? Oh, hey. Our boy Fang is back. Fang grins at you as the bay door slides open. Above and the rest of the building, people are busy, frightened. They speak in hushed tones and organize endless meeting after endless meeting. Haven't have avoided a full-blown crisis for now, but change is coming. Fang is in good spirits and bundles you inside before you even have the chance to greet him. That was the slickest operation this station has seen, he hugs you firmly. You made my job easy, he shakes you by the shoulders. I'm so proud. And, he smiles, I got to watch through the cameras as the Haven security that weren't in on it assaulted the station. Fang smiled. One of them straight up just whacked Harden with their pistol. It was beautiful. They have him? He's being held, yeah, he looks around. I think the idea is to use him as leverage with Conway to get them to back off. Maybe they'll exile him when they are done, or hand him over to some core authority. Fang shrugs. Now I know he won't be an issue. I'm going to be focusing on systems for a bit, he shakes his head, seeing as that's my actual job. He points up to the ceiling. The people upstairs weren't so happy, though. They've been fielding questions about the state of the eye right and left since the recording got out. People are scared. I'm not surprised. Yeah, this whole thing hasn't won me many fans in the administration, but I think in the end they'll agree that outing Harden was worth it, whatever the methods. It's fair. He touches a stack of hardware. The eye is old and it was never meant to be run like this. The master control points that Irwin and Havenage installed. They keep it spinning from the rim. That isn't ideal. But if you are asking me if the eye will stop spinning next cycle, no, he smiles. And me and a ton of other skilled people will be working to stop it happening in the cycle after that. Harden's problem was that he didn't believe in people, he believed in systems and their ability to shape the world around them. Fang squeezes your shoulder, but as far as I'm concerned, people would be the ones running the systems, not the other way around. People should be the ones running the systems. Anyway, Fang rips on the side of his terminal. I know you didn't come down here for a lecture. Yeah, my tracker, bitch. I haven't forgotten. You know, you keep telling me you haven't forgotten, but I still have a tracker. If this is a thumbnail drive, I managed to finish that code solution I showed you. It's a modified Ripper worm, one made to deactivate that tracker of yours. Hey! But in the time since I got back, I added something extra. That tracker of yours doesn't just show SNRP where you are, it transmits data about the state of your body, your current condition. Ooh. My worm won't just deactivate it, it'll edit that data to tell SNRP your body is irreparably damaged. DNR, do not retrieve. He grins wrong. Pretty smart, huh? That's perfect. Just slot it already. You take the drive and hold it in your hand, then you close your eyes and open your access points, take down your defenses. Alright, this is where I'm worried Fang screws me somehow, just because, you know, long-form story video game. You know, things are coming up Millhouse a little bit, so, you know, this would be a good point for shit to go sideways. The worm immediately enters your closed network. It whips through it, taking things with it as it goes. The moment they are gone, you forget they were ever there. They just blink out of existence. A second later, it is done. No. You open your eyes. How do you feel? Asked Fang, a little nervously. Free? Fang smiles widely. Well, you are free, sleeper. He claps you on the shoulder. Fang lets the word free hang in the air a little before he continues. Seems like it might be finally time for a celebration. Fang wraps his arm around you. Jenna still owes us those drinks. Oh, let's not go mess with Jenna. He laughs, and you join him, and later when you leave, you feel deeply thankful for having such a friend. Alright. He didn't screw us. Yet. As you walk away from the building, you look up at the wide curve of the eye, up at the hub, and the other rim beyond it. The whole thing twinkles with lights, and it seems impossible to see it as anything other than breathtakingly beautiful. It feels in that moment like something eternal. That doesn't mean it can or even should last forever, or that it will never change, fade, or decay. It simply means that in this moment, this place has a future, and it is one that you know deeply and truly is worth protecting. Kind of sounded like an endgame kind of thing there. Alright, we finished another one. Okay. This is good. 1 upgrade point. Okay, so I can't do anything with that yet. Well, hell. Good stuff. Okay. Talk to Ankita about what happened. See over there. Let's go check on Memphis. No. Or Memphis, I should have said. Attack you prep. Okay. Huh. You know what? I will take a bar shift. There we go. Alright. Tracker is gone. I like that. Grow that mushrooms. Harvest. Hey! That's a lot of mushrooms. Spore catcher. Alright. Let's attack your samples. There you go. Oh, that's a lot of mushrooms. You know what? I'm gonna just stockpile a little bit. Alright, let's talk to Ankita. Spot Ankita on the track to the farm stack. She has a box on her shoulder and is working her way down the slope. She sees you as she approaches. She sees you as she approaches. Neither of you speak for a moment. She looks tired, pale. Her hair is tangled, and clumps of dirt cling to her armor.
You both eye catch each other. You both eye each other. Ankita. She holds up a hand. Sleeper. She takes a deep breath. I'm sorry for what happened. Truly I am. She looks down. I'm sorry you ended up in the middle of this when all you have shown me is kindness. She rubs her face. I'm sorry. Yeah, it's okay. She nods and looks up at the stars. I've never... She stops herself. Thank you. Ankita shifts the weight of the box on her shoulder. I've been preparing for... She grimaces. Look, can you come with me? It's easier if... Yeah, lead on. Ankita leads on down the dirt path between the pillars. There is a wind passing through the greenway, a quirk of the air currents. The biosphere maintains and it ruffles the leaves softly. The sound makes the silence more obvious, more complete. You try not to think of the last time you were here. You have been trying not to think of it for the past few cycles. The image of the sleeper, sprawled, twisted open, connected to the ship mind, has been hard to forget. You realize Ankita is leading you back there, back into the drum at the center of the stack. You pause, trembling a little. At the threshold, she turns. What are you doing? She looks at you with empty eyes. What needs to be done? You stand on the threshold and look up at the tanks, green and wet, sun glowing with flickering glow lamps. You look down at Ankita, suddenly so small under this hulking ruin. The smallest she has ever looked. She places the box down. Follow her in. You follow Ankita to the stack through a load tank, entering the drum at ground level. It is just as beautiful as you remember, but it barely touches you. Instead, you check the apertures of the tanks for the glint of a weapon or a shadow among the moss. Ankita stops and you look down. The mossy island at the center of the tank is clear now, the equipment cleared away. In its place, a mound of dirt, loosely covered with moss. Ashton's rifle stands straight, half buried in the dirt at the grave's head. I buried them together, Ankita says without turning. We both stand there in silence for a little while. Think of questions you could ask about Ashton, about the sleeper. How long did you know him? She takes a moment to respond, and for a moment you think she won't, but then the words come gushing out. Yeah, it's good. Good to talk. He signed on a while ago. He used to run recon for a corporate outfit, but he got sick of the pay. He joined the crew as a sniper, and the first few jobs were a breeze. He was so cold, disconnected. He always hits his marks. Hits his marks. The last few jobs, though, he was different. I noticed that. We had a period of extended shore leave on the eye, and when he came back, he was changed. I assumed he had just too much time off. He had just had too much time off. He was right. I never would have given him the ship mind. I wouldn't have believed him. I've had crew members double-cross me, undercut me, rat me out. That's the business. He wasn't a good person. None of us is in this job. This is how we die, alone. She stops, not sure of what to add. It seems like she is reaching for something, but she can't quite get there. You feel that gap between you, and as you do, it widens. The water drips, the moss trembles. You both stand in silence for a while longer. You both feel it, life creeping back in, the silence ending. Ankita shifts her weight and then starts to walk out. You follow her, suddenly eager to be back out of the open space of the greenway, to be away from this place forever. You stand outside and breathe the fresh air. You stare at the green leaves and the stars wheeling above them. That's it, says Ankita from somewhere behind you. You think of something to say but can't. Ankita puts a hand on your shoulder. You turn back to her. At least take this. She forces a handful of cratchits in your hands. It's what I owe. She looks at you desperately. You look down at the metal bars. Ugly little things, you think. Drop the chits. You open your hand and let the chits fall to the floor. They clunk into the dirt, and she does not pick them up. You turn without saying a word and continue up the track. She does not follow. As you walk up to the rise, the wind picks up and the leaves shudder. You walk faster, trying to outpace your anger. You think of those ugly metal bars in the dirt. Life has to be worth more than that. It has to be. Oof. The bad end. Oh, there was a good end. Oh well. Damn, I'm all of a sudden running out of quests. Yep, the bad end. That's a shame. I have 3 points? Or shit. Okay. Well, Obsessive Haggler has been nice, so... yeah. back to Rabia. Caster. Nope. Patrol or tithes? Oh, hey, I got a +2, so... Positive, hey! And I got some scrap. Let's just see if this finishes it off. Oh! Keep helping that dentist. Neutral! And we're done. Alright. This time you meet inside Rabia's office, although now that you've seen it, office seems like the wrong term. You find her stood in an almost bare, shadowy unit. Midway through a sequence of stretches, there are 2 low stools and a terminal in the corner, but it seems that most of the space is taken up by a heavy punching bag, rubber matting, and a stack of weights. Damn. When Rabia turns to greet you, you realize she is missing an arm. The prosthetic she usually wears is set in a cradle. Near the terminal, a web of colored wires running to it. Update, she says, noticing you looking where her artificial arm usually is. Nothing to worry yourself with, of course. Sit, says Rabia, gesturing to the diminutive stools. You both settle on the stools, Rabia crossing her legs on top and sitting straight backed. Jaya told me you have been doing the rounds, collecting ties, patrolling the ward. She smiles. Some of the enforcers are impressed, and I hear you handled a few difficult circumstances. Nicely done. I want to tell. And you did. She closes her eyes for a moment. I hope you can see how things work here now. A strong Yadigan means a strong low end. Both are woven into each other. Oh, some Twitter love from Extra Life themselves. Thank you, Extra Life. I know that for you, life on the eye has been a struggle, but I hope we can do something about that from here onwards. Though some of our members may not see it this way, I know you, too, are a refugee. She looks at you solemnly. That is why you have come to us. Oh, shit, Sabine! Enough, Rabia. Sabine's voice cuts through the conversation. I'm tired of listening to your affected nobility. They cross the room, Rabia's baton in her hand, the end lit with sparking electricity. Wow. I might be tired enough to try to go to bed. Rabia looks between the two of you. I suppose this ambush was another cooperation between you two. She looks strangely unfazed. Yeah, sure. I'm gonna back Sabine. Rabia smiles as Sabine moves closer with sudden intent. Sabine reaches Rabia as she rises and whips the baton to meet her throat. Both freeze, Sabine holding the baton out, the end shaking a little, and Rabia fixed in place in front of it, leaning away from its sparking tip. Stay silent. How does it feel, Rabia, to be the one at disadvantage for once? Sabine asks, trembling with anger. Your debt is with Yannick, Rabia stutters. Don't be a fool. This crusade will be your end. Sabine grits their teeth, and for a moment you think they are about to touch the baton to Sabine's exposed throat, but slowly, deliberately, they press the tip downward, forcing Rabia to recoil back onto the stool. Sabine drops their arm to their side, but does not turn the baton off. Sabine, tell her. They both look at you, each still catching their breath, as if they had forgotten about your presence. What's the point? Sabine breathes heavily. She refuses to listen to criticism of the great Yadigan project. Rabia collects herself. Speak. She folds her arms and waits to be convinced. Sabine takes a breath, organizing their thoughts. They go to start, pause, then decide, and yet another approach. Eventually they say it. Yannick is a traitor. Rabia immediately flinches, her eyes going to her prosthetic arm, her muscles clenching, but she rides it out, more eager to prove Sabine wrong than she is to hurt them, at least for now. When I came here from SNARP, they glance at you, gauging your reaction. It was Yannick who was one of the first to support me, to look after me. I should have known then, but I was naive and afraid. Sabine turns to you. Sleeper. They take a breath. I know that I should have told you I worked for SNARP long ago, but I thought you would abandon me and you were my final friend. Huh. What you should know is that I left SNARP because I was running for my life. I leaked documents on the Sleeper program, on the illegal and immoral practices it relied on to the press. SNR wanted me dead, and I fled as far as I could to this refuge at the end of the surrogate systems. Sabine stops to collect themselves. What does this have to do with Yannick? Rabia interrupts. The sleeper knows you are SNR. I told them, and while you hide beneath the cover of being a whistleblower, you and I both know you worked on the sleeper program. Yannick told me as much. Sabine's face falls. It is true. They glance at you and then away, ashamed. They lift their head, but it is Yannick, not me, who is in the pocket of SNR. For Rabia flinches again. I can prove it. He made some kind of deal to keep me here, to tie me up in debt, to lock me away in exchange. Rabia slams into us. Just tell us, for God's sake. In exchange for those, Sabine finishes, nodding towards Rabia's prosthetic arm and its cradle. He has been using, Yadigan and Force is using you as test subjects for SNR technology. I have the data to prove it. He has been bringing them in under the guise of stolen shipments and having me fit them, knowing each one is capturing data and sending it back to its makers. Rabia's fixed expression has started to fade. Sabine produces a slate. It's all here. Thousands of hours of usage data, failure rates, error dumps. These are untested implants, Rabia. They could short out, fail, cause cascading failures across a person's body. And they have. Sabine suddenly looks incredibly tired. I thought the error rate in the unit was down to them being stolen or modified. I tried to fix hundreds of failures in my time here, not all of them. They stop, unable to continue. Rabia closes her eyes and breathes in, then she opens them again. She holds out a hand to Sabine. Show me, she says. Later, much later, when you leave, Sabine is still taking Rabia through the manifest and usage data. Both of them crowded around the terminal as Sabine leads Rabia through each layer of Yannick's betrayal. As you leave, Sabine catches your eye, and something passes between you, something like a thank you or a sorry, or some other expression that communicates both sadness and hope. Drive complete. Damn. I'm running out of game. Wow. Okay. But, I mean, there's still the mushroom conspiracy, is there not? And Emphas didn't finish his thing. Just crazy, y'all. Caster? Caster. Alright, let's end this cycle. What do we have? Okay, we've hit 2 hours. But let's feed the cat. And we'll just see what's up. Better. Okay. So there's really not much there. Hey, Emphas. Emphas are preparing the Matsutake caps. He cleans them carefully with a damp cloth before shaving the stalks, as if he was sharpening a pencil. His knife slides through them, revealing the bright white of the flesh within. Oh, that's just nasty. These are good, Sleeper, very good, he says without looking up. I bartered with Minji for some kelp too, so we can brew the dashi. You know Minji? Emphas looks up from cutting with a smile. Everyone knows Minji. Emphas slides the sliced Matsutake mushrooms to one side and takes out a closed pan. He opens the lid and you see the green wafer of kelp sitting in a bath of water. Been soaking it since last cycle, he explained. Should be good to warm now. He places the pan over the burner and it turns on low. Turns it on low. We have some time now. He wipes his hands, cleans and throws the cloth over his shoulder. However, there's one difference this cycle, he smiles. You have been the one providing the ingredients, so it is my turn to provide a story. Okay. Good, this story is important to me. He gestures for you to both sit on the folding stools behind the stall. You see these? Emphas runs a hand over his forearm, tracing... What are they? What am I looking... I'm looking at his forearm. Tracing the circular scars that mark them like perfect bite marks. Conway called it an anchored interface rig, a mechanical control device for piloting a heavy-duty extraction suit in low-G industrial operations. We called it a bone suit. He points to a pattern of larger circles on his shoulder. They drill in and anchor it here, then all the way down the arm. Wow, he taps each scar on the way. It maps mechanical movements to the suit exactly, a 1-to-1 mechanical replication. You swing your arm, a 2-ton arm swings too. Wow. You should have seen the recruitment vid. Strong people in even stronger suits tearing through stone and scrap. Superheroes. Half my graduating year signed up, from company school to company shuttle. Conway from birth to death. He stares off into the distance for a moment, fighting with the memories. Shit. But the bone suits weren't good. The rate of failures was high, and failures meant arms torn off, anchors torn out, broken bones, bad stuff. So after a while, Conway discontinued them. No longer competitive, he said. He checks the broth, turning down the heat and adding the mushrooms. Jesus. This reminds me of like the really bleak utopian world in like the RoboCop movies. Yeah, that was messed up. First two were great. 3, it just got weird. Because the first 2 weren't weird, but they were amazing. So there we were, hundreds of us with surgical alterations for suits that didn't work. They sent us home, back to the company colony that spat us out, to be cleaners, drivers, cooks. They gave us drugs for the pain and told us to make something of ourselves. When I deserted, bribing some passing spacers to take me into orbit, there were only me and a couple of others left. The rest just faded away, arthritis, osteoporosis. They folded in on themselves like paper lanterns. That was my generation. The anchor points still ache, still burn. He touches the scars, but what burns worse is the betrayal. I've been on the eye for a long time now, but that will never fade. Not that, and not the faces of my friends. Emphasis reaches over and sprinkles a handful of leaves into the broth. It's ready. Thank you. Thank you for listening to me. I will not let their story die, and as long as I am telling it, it will remain. Emphasis pours the broth into a double-walled metal bowl and hands it to you. The heat radiates through your hands, and the smell drifts up, rich and sharp, like a pine forest after the rain. Oh, wow. You drink the broth slowly, chewing them, Matsutake and thinking. Emphasis busies himself with cleaning the pans and the bowl, setting the kelp back up for another day. Then he quietly comes to sit with you while you finish your meal. Neither of you speak, preferring instead to let the story linger in the air a little longer. It is not that there is nothing to say, it's that sometimes in the moments after something speaking breaks the spell. So you both idle, eager to be in each other's company, Emphasis taking longer over his cleaning, his packing, and you savoring the final dregs of broth. When you finally finish and hand him the bowl, you feel the spell break, and the story leaves you both. And as you leave, you know that both of you are somehow a little more empty and a little more full than before. That was cool. Story eater. Huh. Okay, another upgrade point. What do we got here? Well, self-repair. Use scrap components at home to repair condition. Yeah, I'm getting a lot of scrap now, thanks to that perk. So we can just do that. See how that goes. Lots of stuff. Okay. Caster, if you're at Rabio's office. Rabi and Sabine have been holed up in our office for a while now. What are they planning? Who knows? So let's go hang out in the Greenway. Farm stacks. Steal. No, I'm not stealing the harvest. Some farm stacks. I've survived. What do I get? Oh, I just get cryo and stuff? Okay. Better things to do with my time. Mushroom grows. Forage for fungus. Oh, I think I do need to get more of that. That's just a +1. Okay. Well, guaranteed success then. Yay! And forage for fungus. Yeah. Creole caps. Alright. Aviary, what's happening in here? Germinate. Oh, hold on. I think just needed one more, right? Oh, need tons. Okay, so, alright, what am I doing here? Real samples, Matsutake samples. It's a repeatable? Okay. Well, I mean, might as well. Okay, so it's doubling up, so that's good. Alright. That we like to hear. Hyphen dorm, hyphen commune, work assignments. Oh, yeah, well, I'll use this. Negative! Boo. Boo. Burns. What's in the waste? Gather scrap. I might do that. Let's check with the aviary first. Germinate spores. Okay. I need one more spore, so let's get that. Nope. Nope, nope, nope. Collect spores. And that's 4 cycles, okay. Alfredo's experiments. Grow mushrooms. Alright, well. Need to hack around here. Greenway Gate. No, that's waiting for dude, so nothing there. That's upcoming, okay. So, what is around here? His office, that is another 2 cycles. That could work. Make use and get some money. That would be good. Self-repair. Yeah, let's try that. Hey, look at that. That's handy. I like that. Oh shoot, I should have grabbed a thing. Forgot. I don't like to waste dice. Hey, that's a good amount. Okay. And then anything else proc? Scrap freighter. Scrap allowance. Buy some scrap. Eh. Don't care about that. Havenage offices. Yeah. Well, might as well do a shift. I'll save that for hacking, so let's do this one. Hey, there we go. Cryo. Energy and cryo. Express delivery. Neutral. There we go. I will take it. It's just nowhere to get some work done. Alien Crossing. I guess scrap freighter. Gotta be something else. Check the greenway. It's weird, it's like a free day, so I don't know what to do with myself. Not gonna steal the harvest. Work the stacks doesn't lead to anything. I'm not gonna steal. Water for food. What did I just get? Yeah, that's correct. So, I don't care about that. So we can chip in on the commune, get some energy. Do that once. There we go. Alright. Okay. Self-repair. Cool. Feed the cats. And end this. Six fours, I got a +2 to stuff. I'm gonna keep that. I don't want a chance losing those sixes. Hey, what do we got? As you enter Rabia's office, you hear voices. Is that Savine? Push open the door. Sleeper, what good time, Rabia calls out as you enter. I want to introduce you to someone. The man is standing at the center of the room, speaking quietly with Rabia. He turns to you. Come in, meet Yannick. Ah, shit. Sleeper, he nods. Been hearing good things about you from Ravi. He smiles, and he's a smile. Rabia? Rabia cuts in. Sleeper has been running patrols in the ward. They know how we can run things. Yannick raises an eyebrow, his eyes concealed behind tinted glasses. You feel a stare, even if you cannot see it. Actually, Rabia places a hand on her shoulder. The Sleeper was what I wanted to talk to you about. She doesn't spare you a look. What is going on? Oh, okay then. Yannick tucks his head into his pocket. His hands into his pockets. Tucks his head in there. That's pretty cool. Go on. I'd like to recommend them to your ward. A tiny pause. They have shown themselves to be a capable ally here on this spoke side, but we have more than enough to run our territories. I hear the main block is proving more difficult. Yannick leans forward slowly. It's a mess, Ravi. He waits, his tinted glasses shimmering despite the lack of light in the unit. I can use them, he suddenly decides. Good to hear. I can immediately... Yannick cuts her off with a raised hand. 1 second. He steps one surprisingly light step closer to you. You eager to work, Sleeper? Yes? Yannick nods his head as if listening to music. Okay then. You suddenly aren't sure if he is talking to you. That concludes it, Yannick pronounces. Sleeper can come work in the ward anytime they like. You shoot Rabia a confused look. Rabia finally glances at you for a moment, but it is so fast you almost miss it. Good. I know you'll be happy with their work, Yan. Yannick reaches out and squeezes her shoulder. Sure, Ravi. Now please, he says, turning to face you. Let us old friends get back to it. He guides Rabia away, leaving you standing alone. You look to Rabia, but she is deep in conversation, and so, stunned and confused, you leave. New drive. Hello. Expose Yannick. Yeah. Yannick's word. Oh, hey, look at that. Yannick's trust. Yannick is a strange character, but he seems to understand the value of hard work. You'll gain his trust with time. Well, that is true. Alright, so let's see what that gets us. That's good.
good start. Neutral. Okay. Ooh, negative. Not great. Hey, 3. Nice. There we go. Yannick's Trust. You almost laugh when you see it. The same small recorder stuck to a different wall this time, written across the fluorescent tape in that familiar word, sleeper. You grab it quickly. Rabia says, sorry. Sabine's voice sparks up once again. She said she didn't have time to brief you before setting you up with the old man. I'm sure you've got the play by now. Earn his trust, work the block, then we need you to get into his office. A pause. It's risky, but obviously you're the only one of us he doesn't already know. Either way, we need to locate the link to S and ARP. You hear a shout in the background of the recording. Rabia says, be careful. Guess they're all pals now. Sabine continues, the data suggests there's some relay processing the implant data and sending it to S and ARP, but we can't lock it down. We can't lock down its position. Either he is moving it, or it's moving itself, or is rerouting through other relays. We can't understand it. Maybe you can find some details on it in his office. Once he trusts you, you should be able to get close enough to get in the office. You only get one shot. The recording creaks and whines. That's the final piece of the puzzle to end this. A pause. Good luck, Sleeper. I'm sorry too. Be safe. The recording clicks off, leaving you in silence. You pocket the recorder, just in case, and walk away. Looks like it's up to you. Well, shit. Find the relay. Oh, I don't have any things. Well, you know, that is a good place to end it, I think, for today, or tomorrow. Feed the cat. Let's get some scrap going here. Probably should have gotten that sooner, but I wasn't coming across scrap that much anymore. No regrets. Alright, anyway. So we'll end that cycle there. So yeah, so we cleared up a lot of, I was going to say nagging quests, but just quests that we've had for a while. 6s, 5s, yeah, because I got pluses and stuff, so that's okay. Great. So yeah, that's going to be it for tonight. Hope I can get some sleep. If anybody else having trouble sleeping in humidity, I feel your pain, but what are you going to do? Things could always be worse. Yeah, so that is it for me. So, obviously you're here, Risen72 on Twitch, that's where I stream. I'm also now throwing these onto my YouTube channel, which is also Risen72. A Canadian Plays, and so that'll be easy enough to find there. Follow me on Twitter, any schedule changes, or when I'm about to go on, obviously, I post there, and Instagram. Not yet Threads, because apparently Threads is only on the phone, and there's an actual website, so I just copy and paste through all the websites. But anyway, I am on Threads. And there's also a link to my Facebook fundraiser page and my Extra Life page. You can donate on either of those sites, and donations go right to Sick Kids Toronto. I don't keep anything. Any questions about the donation process or anything like that, of course, yeah, drop me a line on Twitter, and if I don't know the answer, I will get you the answer. But also, I encourage you to look up Extra Life and become an Extra Life streamer. It's I just meet incredible people. Like earlier, Cyberwolf Jimmy, he is a fellow Extra Life streamer as well, and yeah, he's a great person. So do it. Learn about Extra Life, become an Extra Life streamer, meet awesome people, and give back. works for me. At least it has for the last 6 years. So I'm a product of the good work of Sick Kids Toronto, so I'm more than happy to give back since I especially never grew out of video games. Yay me. So, that's going to be it for tonight. We'll be back next weekend, and we'll be continuing with CitizenSleeper. I have no idea how much of the game is left, the base game anyway, and then I'll be doing the DLC as well. But, yeah, went through a lot where I had so many quests, and then I ran out. But looks like we're continuing with the yet again stuff now. Infiltrating Yannick's operation. Yeah. So that's it. I'm now rambling, so that's a good time to end it. We will see you all next week. Have a good one. Stay cool if you can, drink water, all that nonsense.